You close the door and you are gone. But your dog is still there, staring at it, for minutes, sometimes much longer. Most owners never know this is happening because they're not there to see it. But when someone stays behind, when a security camera catches it, when researchers set up to measure it, they always find the same thing. And it isn't simply a dog missing their owner. What's underneath that behavior goes into territory that most owners, even devoted ones, have never thought to explore. Let's start with what's actually happening in those first few seconds after you leave. Because most people imagine their dog turns around, finds a sunny spot, and waits comfortably until the sound of the car in the driveway signals it's time to get excited again. That is not what happens. Research conducted at the University of Lincoln, one of the most cited institutions in the world for canine attachment studies, found that dogs experience a measurable physiological stress response the moment their primary attachment figure leaves. Not after an hour, not after the first few minutes of confusion, the moment the door closes. Cortisol levels, the hormone most directly associated with stress, rise quickly and remain elevated for a significant portion of the time the owner is absent. Heart rate increases, respiration changes, and in many dogs, the body orients itself toward the last point of contact with the person who just disappeared. The door. That's not a quirk. That's a nervous system responding to the loss of its anchor. And here's what makes that more significant than it might first appear. Dogs are not simply reacting to an absent food source or a disrupted routine or the loss of stimulation. The research is very clear on this. Studies that have compared dogs' responses to the departure of their owner versus the departure of a familiar stranger, someone the dog knows but is not bonded to, show dramatically different physiological responses. The owner's departure triggers the stress response. The familiar stranger's departure does not. This tells us something precise. What your dog is responding to isn't absence in general. It's your absence specifically. You, as an individual, have become so neurologically significant to your dog that your disappearance registers in their body the same way a genuine threat would. Think about what that means. You are not just someone your dog likes, you are someone their entire nervous system is organized around. But wait, because the door-staring behavior goes even deeper than stress response. And this is the part most owners completely miss. Dogs have an extraordinary relationship with scent that most humans can't fully conceptualize. Their olfactory system contains roughly 300 million scent receptors compared to the approximately 6 million in the human nose. The region of the brain dedicated to processing smell is proportionally about 40 times larger in dogs than in humans. This means your dog doesn't experience the world the way you do. They experience it primarily through chemical information, a continuous, layered, extraordinarily detailed stream of scent data that tells them things about their environment that your eyes and ears could never detect. And that includes information about you. Your scent doesn't disappear when you leave. It lingers. On the door handle, on the mat near the entrance, in the air around the threshold. For a period of time after your departure, your dog can still smell you. Faintly, then fainter still, then gone. Researchers studying canine olfactory behavior have documented that dogs will repeatedly return to and orient toward the scent trail of their owner after departure, essentially following the ghost of your presence through the space you've left behind. The door isn't just where you disappeared, it's the last place your scent was strongest. It's the last point where the chemical evidence of you was concentrated and real. Your dog isn't staring at a door. They're staying as close as they can to the last place you were. That image, once it lands, is difficult to shake. Here's where it gets deeper still. Because what your dog is doing at that door isn't just emotional, it's cognitive. And the sophistication of it is something science has only recently begun to fully appreciate. Dogs are exceptional at pattern recognition. They catalog the routines of the people they live with in extraordinary detail. The sound of specific keys, the particular way a bag gets picked up, the sequence of movements that reliably precede departure. Research published in the journal Animal Cognition has demonstrated that dogs begin showing anticipatory stress responses not when you leave, but before you leave. during the behavioral sequence that leads up to departure. They recognize the pattern. They know what's coming. And their nervous system begins preparing for your absence while you're still in the room. But here's the part that changes the picture entirely. That same pattern recognition that lets them anticipate your departure also lets them anticipate your return. Studies have found that many dogs begin showing behavioral signs of anticipation, moving toward the door, increased alertness, restlessness, before their owner arrives home. Sometimes minutes before any audible or visible signal of the owner's approach is detectable by human observers. The current leading explanation isn't supernatural, it's olfactory. As the time of a habitual return approaches, a dog may be detecting the gradual decay of the owner's departure scent alongside subtle environmental cues, light changes, ambient sounds, shifts in household rhythm, that their pattern recognition system has associated with the owner's imminent return. In other words, your dog isn't just waiting, they're calculating. Quietly, continuously, running a model of where you are and when you'll be back, using every scent and sensory signal available to them. The door is the center of that calculation. It's the axis their whole waiting world rotates around. And now, here's the question that most owners never ask, but probably should. What does all of that waiting do to a dog over time? Veterinary behaviorists have become increasingly attentive to what's called separation-related behavior in domestic dogs. And the picture that's emerged from years of research is more nuanced than the old label of separation anxiety suggested. Not every dog who stares at the door and waits in distress has a clinical condition. But sustained, repeated experiences of owner absence do leave traces. A study published in the journal Frontiers in Veterinary Science found that dogs who experienced frequent or prolonged separations without adequate reunification rituals, meaning owners who left and returned without meaningfully acknowledging their dog, showed higher baseline anxiety markers over time. The leaving wasn't the only variable. The coming back mattered just as much. This is the detail that changes what you do tomorrow morning. Because what the research is telling us is that the door staring, the waiting, the cortisol spike, the scent tracking, all of that is one side of a loop. And the other side of that loop is the moment you come back through that door. How you handle that moment either closes the loop or leaves it open. A dog whose owner returns and makes genuine, warm, unhurried contact, gets down to their level, makes eye contact, lets them smell and nuzzle and exhale, shows a much faster return to baseline cortisol levels than a dog whose owner walks in distracted, says a quick hello, and moves straight to other things. The reunion isn't just nice, it's physiologically necessary. It's the resolution that your dog's nervous system has been waiting for since the moment you left. Most owners think the greeting at the door is about the dog being excited. It isn't. It's about your dog completing a biological cycle that began the moment you walked out. They've been holding something since you left. Not dramatically, not consciously, but at the level of their nervous system, something has been waiting. When you walk back in and you really show up for that moment, that thing releases. That's what the frantic greeting actually is. That's what the spinning and the whimpering and the pressing their body against your legs means. It means you came back. The world is intact. I can let go now. And here's what I want you to carry from this. Your dog stares at that door not because they're anxious, not because they're poorly trained, not because something is wrong with them. They stare at that door because of what you mean to them. Because you are the organizing principle of their day, the anchor of their nervous system, the warmest and most real thing in their entire experiential world. And when you're gone, everything in them orients toward the last place you were and waits for the moment that place becomes the first place you are again. They can't follow you. They can't call you. They can't distract themselves with plans or errands or screens. All they can do is stay close to the door and hold on to the last trace of your scent and wait. And every single day you come back. And every single day, that is enough. The least we can do is walk back through that door like we know what it means to them. Like we understand what they've been doing while we were gone. Like we know what it cost them and what it means that they're still there, still waiting, still completely and utterly certain that you will return. Because they are certain, and they're right. And that trust, that absolute, unquestioned, daily renewed trust, is one of the most extraordinary things any creature has ever extended to another. Go home tonight and mean it when you walk through that door. Your dog has been waiting to exhale. If this hit you somewhere real, subscribe to Unspoken Canine and leave a comment below. Have you ever caught your dog waiting at the door on a camera or through a window? Tell us what you saw. Because sometimes the most important things happen when no one thinks they're being watched.